Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our November, since we are in the last day of November, our November webinar. We are featuring Dr. Ashley Brown. She is with the University of Missouri Extension, and she is going to be educating us on staying socially smart. This is great information for those of you who manage social media pages, or maybe even your own personal Facebook pages. She's going to let us know what to post when and how to keep it safe, especially for your business pages. And if I can get to my next slide, I am Lakin Coleman. I'm the business counselor here at the New Growth Women's Business Center. We serve 15 counties, 13 of those being in rural Missouri and then 2 in Kansas. And we offer the following business assistance. You can see on the screen, we also have added credit building to our program, and we are really excited to get that launched. If you have any questions at all or need to contact us, our information is there at the bottom. And during this webinar, questions are encouraged and will be answered throughout the webinar. We ask that you use the question and answer chat box, and we will address those as they come in. Additionally, we will take time at the end to answer any questions that were unanswered. And we are looking forward to having those questions. So please put those in the Q&A. And without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to Dr. Ashley Brown.
Okay.
And she has to share her screen, so we're going to give her just a second.
Give me just a second here, and we will share. I'm sorry, I'm not as technologically savvy as Lakin. So anyway, although I try. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm very excited to be asked to do this after I presented at the SCORE E3 program. I have some music on some of my slides, so don't be shocked if you hear like a pop of music and you're like, oh, okay. So along with my talking. Today, we're going to talk about being socially smart, and it's really about the space between stimulus and response. This is not a presentation about a lot of data and algorithms, okay? This is about just common sense approaches to managing your social media. So without further ado, and I do have subtitles. Hopefully they will work. I do have them on there. We're required to do this by MU Extension. So I apologize if it's aggravating, but I need to have this on, all right? So let's get started. What if I told you that a 2014 study from the University of Southern California revealed that a person's Facebook feed had the power to stimulate the same parts of the brain as does one single hit of cocaine? Would you believe me? I think you probably would. But I'll tell you what, this is not the exact same thing as a hit of an illicit drug, all right, when you hit the like button. But social media platforms drive surges of dopamine to the brain, according to Nancy DeAngelis, who's the director of behavioral health at Jefferson Health, Thomas Jefferson University. When you share and you like and you comment on platforms, it triggers the brain's reward center, and it results in a similar feeling to that of a high when you're gambling or using drugs. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about where that reward center lies and how it's used. And it is the ventral tegmental area. There's a cluster of neurons that is in your amygdala. It's in your limbic system. It's called the ventral tegmental, or VTA. It's located in the midsection of your brain, and it's part of your limbic system just under your amygdala, as I said before. The primary function of your limbic system, as you may already know, is to process and regulate your emotion and memory, your sexual stimulation, and your learning. It also regulates behavior, motivation, long-term memory, your sense of smell. All of that is in the limbic system, where you see that arrow and the little circles that were going on before it stopped. The amygdala is purported to process fearful and threatening stimuli. Okay, so when we're talking about stimulus and response, the amygdala plays a part in fight or flight, all right? So if the amygdala is fight or flight, the VTA plays an essential role in several other processes, and those are reward consumption, learning, memory, and addiction behaviors. And when you hit that like button, the love button, or you comment, that dopamine and oxytocin is going into that VTA and throughout your limbic system. It releases all of it in the downstream regions of your brain. Whoops. We just said that, didn't we? So that's when you hit the like button, it releases all those reward centers and it makes you want to do it over and over and over again. Just like I did. So I'm going to have to move my little camera here so I can see what I've got. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Dr. Viktor Frankl. Dr. Viktor Frankl is a very important person in the realm of psychology. He was an Austrian psychiatrist and a Holocaust survivor. He wrote the book, many books, but the one that I particularly like is Man's Search for Meaning, because he is the father of several humanistic psychology theories. And he says that man's search for meaning is the true essence of ourselves. We're looking for meaning in our lives. And so that stimulus, that space between when we're stimulated and how we respond, is where our control is. It's where we have the power to either make or break our business, make or break our relationships, or connect with people and really build upon those relationships. So now that you know that social media and interacting with social media really does affect your brain, it's not just fun, it's something that is a physiological thing, it's time for us to get smart about using social media. So without further ado, here we go. It's very, very simple. S, we'll start with S. S is speak to your audience. It stands for speak to your audience, serve your customers, share a great story, and spread your mission and vision. When you're on social media, this is your opportunity to shine, right? Back when I was a young person, we only had television and radio, right? And you saw those people on television and you were influenced by them because they were the ones up there on the radio or on the television who would tell you what to do, and you kind of believed them, right? So now with all of the social media, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of those things, we can build our credibility with people just like those people on the pedestals in TV so many years ago, those famous stars. The other thing that S stands for is SEO, or search engine optimization. And you're going to hear that a lot in your business. And some of you may know a heck of a lot more about this, about SEO than I do. But SEO, or search engine optimization, is not only an internet or technical word, it's also something you can do in real life. When I think of SEO, I think of social capital. So S can also stand for social capital. Social capital is the value resulting from positive connections between people. Studies within the last decade have concluded that social media has the power to build our social capital. And social capital is what you need in order to stimulate responses from people. When you want people to buy from you, or you want to connect with them, or you want to convert someone from your page into an actual customer. I think one of the things I like to say is your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So when you think of search engine optimization, think about branching out and reaching people and building them into your fold and into your tribe and getting them on your side. Okay. And if you have questions, please go ahead and Lakin will let me know and I'll stop my jabbering and I will answer them for you the best I can, okay? All right, so M is mindfulness. This is what we're basically talking about. So M is a big deal, right? We want to be intentional about what we put out in the world, because once it's on social media, I don't care if you delete it, it's out there, right? We have to be very, very mindful and intentional of our messages. And we also want to make them meaningful and memorable. If we're having a bad day or somebody cut us off at the, on the highway, we really don't want to put that out there. We just want to find a way to put out a meaningful message that helps us, relate what we're going through, because other people are going through the same things. So if we're having frustration, maybe you looked up something and it gave you like a quote from someone. One of the things I like to do is think about Maya Angelou, and I think about her quote of, I did the best I could at the time, and when I knew better, I did better. So one of the things I like to do is post a quote from someone that's positive and gives me some strength and some intestinal fortitude, because we have good days and we have bad days because we're human. There's stimulus and response, and our amygdala and our VTA are always being stimulated by everything. So we have to be mindful of how we respond to that overreacting. Also, a study, I'm going to tell you a little bit about a study that was done at Stanford University. There were students who were asked to make a 1-minute persuasive pitch. And this is why it's important to use messages that are meaningful and memorable. And I think I'm going to talk about story as well. I should have probably talked about that with the S. But in this study, there were these students and they made a 1-minute pitch, and 2.5 of the students used statistics and 1 in 10 used a story. In particular, it was a story where the students were trying to raise money for some children in Mali. And 2.5 of the students just used data about how the children were suffering, no pictures, nothing. And then the one student used a picture of a child who was actually from Mali and was suffering, and talked about that child's story. When the audience was polled about their memory of these pitches, only 5% remembered the stories with the statistics, and 63% remembered a story. So it's very important to be mindful and to tell things that are memorable and meaningful in order to connect with people. Also, as you already know, because you're astute individuals in the business community, research shows that more people are motivated to do business with a person or organizations whose story they believe in. So if you have a cause that resonates with people, please share it. Don't feel like, well, even if you've achieved something that's really impactful, and maybe it's something that you've been recognized for in the community, always share it. Don't feel like you're showboating. Put it out there. Thank those people. And we're going to talk about that as we move along. So appealing to emotions is very important, and that's how you can do that with meaningful, memorable, and mindful messaging. A is very important. Back in the 90s, I worked for Chrysler Corporation, and I also worked for Lucid Technologies, and I sold and taught big, huge phone systems, taught people how to use them back in the 90s. And one of the things that I was told in my training was never be afraid to ask. They can just say no right now, but no doesn't mean no forever. It just means not right now. So ask for people to give you feedback, to follow you, to share, to connect you with friends. Ask them for feedback. How can I do better? What am I doing right? What do I need to do better? That's how you become successful on social media and you convert people. Gen Z, I don't know if you know a lot, if there are Gen Zers on this webinar, but my studies are in Gen Z, and those are people born between 1996 and 2010. And in my studies, I've found out that they crave feedback. All of the subjects in my study said, I need feedback in order to do better. So it isn't personal, it's just business. Make sure that you ask for this feedback. When you're asking for feedback too, and when you're posting to social media, make sure you take as many pictures as you can of your customers. People love to see themselves. That's why social media is so popular, right? Because people love to see themselves and they love to see other people, doing great things and going on vacations. I can't take as many vacations as I'd like to, so I really enjoy seeing beach pictures of my friends and their grandchildren and their nieces and nephews and family. Get pictures, if you can, of yourself interacting with these people in your business, because they will like to see that. Then that way you can post it and they know that you care about them. All right. When you're asking for feedback, focus on the really positive feedback. All right. This will help you advocate for yourself. Whoops. I'm so sorry. I'm so good with this technology. Whoops. Okay. And I'm teaching this webinar. Okay, so A stands for always advocate for yourself. Now, I told you A also stood for ask, right? So the reason you're asking for things is because along with the sunshine, there's going to come a little rain, right? So you know that people have a tendency to be negative on social media because they can hide behind things, and some people don't. And what you never want to do is to answer negativity or engage in it. Don't engage in the negativity, but don't ignore it either. You know what I'm saying? Um, this is an opportunity when you have negativity towards you or your business. It's an opportunity for you to flip the script and to show how you shine. Okay. Um, the thing about this is if you have some negativity posted on your Facebook page or on your regular page, don't delete it. Only hide it if it's obscene. Okay. If you start deleting all the comments, people are going to not trust you. They're going to think, oh, well, this person only wants to have positive comments. And yes, we do want to have positive comments, but we have to address the negative too. Don't address it with negativity. I'll give you an example. I have a very good friend who is in politics, bless her heart. And she is a PR person in politics. She has a PhD and she has 5 children, 4 of whom are her biological children, and 1 who is a special needs child that she adopted at birth when he was born. She was very public. She's had a television show and a radio show, and there was some negativity on Facebook that she was not a doctor. She goes by Dr. So-and-so. And it was out there and it was on all the news stations and all these different things. And instead of saying, why are you saying this about me? She took a really mindful approach, right? We're talking about stimulus and response. So in between, she formulated a story about how difficult it was to raise 5 children, including 1 with special needs whom she loves so much, and get her PhD and work a full-time job. And those struggles are real. And then she wrote it in such a way that it was very relatable because not everybody has a PhD, right? But we're all struggling with something. We all have different facets of our lives. We're multifaceted people. So we have to understand the human experience and have empathy. And she wrote it in such a way that those people with the negative comments were like, oh, I guess she really is a PhD, you know, without putting her transcript up and all of those things. But she handled it with a story. She told a story. She gained empathy, and she was mindful and smart about what she said. And so those are different ways that you can answer that. The other thing is you don't have time for negativity because you are focused on having greater impact in your community and in the world. So let's go to R. You recognize from this that
Actually, I'm going to interrupt you real quick before
oh,
we start
great.
that one. But I think we should address Nicole's question at the end. I just want Nicole to know that it will get addressed at the end.
Okay, fantastic.
It's one of those that I think we can do it at the end for sure.
Okay, fantastic. Great, Nicole. Thank you. Recognize, repost, and remind people what makes you and your business stand out from the crowd. The other thing is when you recognize, you're recognizing people, you're recognizing that you need to respond. When you repost, remember S stood for SEO and for search engine optimization, and your vibe attracts your tribe. When you recognize people and you repost and you remind them what you do, that helps them. Reminder, reminder, reminder. When I was in college, they told me, tell people what you're going to tell them again, and then remind them at the end. So you're telling 3 times to make sure it sinks in. Okay. T. This is not the end slide. This is T of SMART. But thank you for being here. Think before you post. Thank the people who are on social media with you and those people who are your customers and engaging with you, and tag those who tag you and those who support and do business with you. Dale Carnegie, let's talk about him a minute, famously said, a person's name is to him or her the sweetest and most important sound in any language. And I would venture to guess that many of you are like me, and we have certain places in our communities that we like to go for dinner because we have our favorite waiter or waitress, and they know what we eat, they know what we drink, They know our food allergies, those types of things if you're me. I also have a certain store that I like to go to because they know my size and they know how I'm kind of oversensitive about trying on clothes. And so they try to help me with that. And they call me by name and they send me thank you cards and those types of things. So it's super, super important. And these are not things that are manipulative or things that are not out of the realm of just normal human decency, right? I told you when we first started that I was just going to have a common sense approach to posting on social media and reposting that'll help you expand and convert likes into customers, okay? Which brings me to this, S.M.A.R.T. Speak to your audience, share a great story, serve your customer base, start building your social capital. Make your messaging meaningful and memorable, and always advocate for yourself, your mission, values, product, services, business, and community. Ask for likes, follows, shares, and friends. Repost, recognize, remind people why they should do business with you, and thank, and tag those who tag you and those who support you. And why do we do all this? Well, because it's the right thing to do, but also it's important to effective social media marketing. It's a very simplistic approach, but sometimes simplicity is genius, right? Okay, so here are some statistics. I'm not a statistics person. I like to talk and write, but here's some data that you need. 73% of marketers believe that their efforts through social media marketing have been somewhat effective or very effective for their business. Now, this information did not come from my head. It came from Pew Research. So that is a very powerful tool. It's a very powerful place. They do a lot of research. And social media has a 100% higher lead to close rate than outbound marketing. And 66% of marketers that spend at least 6 hours on social media per week have gotten more leads. I think 6 hours is minimal, right? I mean, how many of you spend more than 6 hours on social media? I think I do, just over the weekends. 70% of business to consumer marketers have gotten their customers through Facebook. So if nothing else, some of the polls that I have done, the polling I have completed shows that about an 80% out of, let's see, if you have 10 people, about 8 of them use Facebook. And the margins are basically from the age of 25 to about 60. If you look at the back end of your Facebook page, and that's for another time, but looking at the back end of your Facebook page, like your insights and analytics, you can discover a lot. You can also take a look at all the things you've posted and see what resonated the best. That's an important way to do it. Just see what's working for you. See what people bring up when they come into your store. You meet with them for dinner or you meet with a client. They may say, hey, I saw you on Facebook and I saw you got an award or et cetera, et cetera. And look and see if that person liked it. And if they didn't, they're paying attention. But if they did, then it's effective. Okay. So if content is fire, social media is the gasoline. That's from Jay Bayer, who's the author of Customer Relations Expert. And really, if we can take that space between stimulus and response, and we can harness it and post things that are meaningful, memorable, that resonate with people, that advocate for us, that thank people and bring them into our fold, we are fire. Okay, I'm finished. So far. I might be more finished after I find out this question. What's going
on? Okay. Nicole said, when you manage social media for a business, corporation, etc., how do you balance the higher ups or the have-tos on social media with what will be most impactful for our audience?
Okay, how do you balance it?
That's how I take it. I take it more as, how is she supposed to balance what she has to do versus what she thinks will be most impactful?
Oh, that's a really good question.
It is.
It's a really good question because not everybody understands social media. You know what I mean? And that's why we have these positions, which is awesome. But it can also be a slippery slope. When you have to post things, that's fine, do it, but make a calendar. Make your schedule calendar of things that you have to post so that because you don't want to post multiple times a day, right? On your personal pages, you can, but if it's a business page, don't, because it'll oversaturate your postings and it'll overshadow what's really impactful. So make a calendar. And if you have to report to somebody who's telling you that you have to do this, then the best thing to do is kind of over communicate with them that this is great, but I have this post that's going to do X, Y, and Z. And then give them projected outcomes. I think that if you can project what the outcomes are going to be for your most impactful post, you can put those in at specific times. One of the things that I would tell you, Nicole, is it's about timing too. And I think we all know that, right? So if you have to make a post every day about something essential to the business, that's what you're talking about, not the most impactful, but the things you've been told have to be posted. Make a calendar, post it at 8 o'clock in the morning when you get in the office or before you get in the office, and be done with it. Do that. And then revisit it and see what kind of responses you're getting. Now, if you're going to do the impactful things, I would do those at like 4 o'clock on Friday or, in Monday, those types of things. Those tend to be the times that I have found are impactful for MU Extension.
I'm going to
and
interrupt though, because Mondays don't work for us.
They don't? Okay.
No,
It's
and I've
different for
actually,
everybody.
so I've been through a lot of like studies and classes and stuff, and it's actually been advised to never post on Monday.
Oh my goodness.
Which
That
everyone's
wasn't my
algorithm
teacher.
is every algorithm is different,
It is.
and your audiences are different too. So I want to add that. But yeah, I never, if you'll look on our Facebook page, which I manage 2 of our social medias.
And you do a great job of it, like, and you really
Thank
do.
you. I try.
Yeah.
But you will not likely see a post on Mondays because of what I've been told.
Okay.
But like I said, every algorithm is different, and I don't think anyone has mastered the algorithm. So what works for you might not work for us.
I certainly haven't.
No, I don't know if
okay. Well, I'm going to tell you this. That would be the perfect time to post something you have to post.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what I would say. You don't want your impactful stuff on Monday then, but I do know that. Go ahead.
And simply posting is better than not, I think. I don't know how you feel,
agree.
but yes.
But not over posting. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think a couple times a day.
I never post more than twice a day. If I do, then it's just a couple of shares like from a partner or a business that we support. It's not I'm not sharing content all day long.
Yeah. Well, and who has time for that?
They don't.
I mean, seriously.
I also want to add to that, you said to schedule or do it before you go in. Do you use Made a Business Suite?
I do.
That is, audience, hello. Go to business.facebook.com.
Yes.
If you're not using it, use it. I use it daily. I have posts scheduled for the next month of those have-tos. And then my sentimental posts are the ones that I post randomly when I'm thinking of it, or if I'm meeting with a client, or I'm trying to get something impactful and personal out there. But the have-tos are scheduled throughout the month, and I don't have to touch them for a month.
I think that's fantastic. Honestly, and you should talk more about Meta Business Suite Meta Business Suite. I do use that for Laclede County Extension, and it makes things a lot simpler because I have several pages too.
Yeah, so I manage our New Growth one, and then the New Growth Women's Business Center. And yeah, it's so nice because then I can put them side by side and see what I have coming out when. And if I have something that I want to share from one page to the other, I can put it on my personal calendar then to remember to share that post that's going to be posting this afternoon or whatever. So yeah, business.facebook.com. If you guys aren't using it, that's your homework from me from this.
Yeah, you should use it. And she's very technologically savvy. I've worked with her several times and is great at answering questions. Now for content, she's also great for that. I am also happy to share anything that I've done with you too, because my personal pages are doing much better than like the extension pages. But the thing is, we were kind of behind the times when I came on board. That position wasn't filled. And so
that's
I do
where I was at.
though I'm economic development, but I just roll that into it because I want people to know what we do.
And that's what our biggest thing is. I'm constantly reaching out to the team. I'm like, is anyone going anywhere? Even if you're going to meet with a client or going to a new coffee shop, take a picture and tell me about it, and I'm going to post it.
Yes. And tag, of course, post it and say that you're with this person and thank them and,
Yes.
and say how great it was too. I mean, the positive experiences that we share, I always say love grows. Negativity is always there, but if we approach that with, flipping the script and approach it with love, we can make things grow. And that
Yep.
includes our circle of influence too. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with this presentation.
Yeah. I love this presentation. That's why we invited you to do it. I loved
I appreciate
listening to
it.
it in person. I wish everyone that's sitting on here could have seen it in person, but we have the next best thing, her right here on our screen.
Because
I
I
don't
do a
have
tap dance too.
she's all over. No. We don't have any more questions right now. I would love for you guys, if you have any, now is your chance. We're live, we're ready.
There's my contact information.
And you have
My LinkedIn and my Facebook.
You have two social media managers on this call if you have any
Yay.
questions right now.
Yeah, or in the chat, if you have something to add, put it in the chat because I
Yes.
mean, I'm the sage on the stage right now, but I mean, you've got Lakin, and we would love to hear from you too, what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
It's important.
Still don't have anything.
Okay. All right. Well, there's my information, who I am, what I do, and my LinkedIn and my professional Facebook. You're welcome to friend me if you'd like to. I always like to expand my Facebook page and my LinkedIn circle of friends. And I really enjoy new growth. And I will tell you, Lakin is working with me on a project in Lake Ozark for women called #Elevate. And you'll be seeing things on that soon because new growth is part of it.
And
So
go ahead and
it'll be
talk more about it
fantastic.
if you want, Ashley. We've got time.
Oh my gosh, I would love to.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so Elevate, #Elevate is an empowering educational experience for women. It will happen on March 2nd at the Lodge of Four Seasons in Lake Ozark, Missouri. And it goes from 9 a.m. till about 3:30 p.m. 9 a.m. is when the educational sessions start, and New Growth is going to present on credit building. So we have that. We have the financial health and welfare, but we also have women's health and wellness. And this is an event for women, 18 plus, ages 18 plus. We also have a keynote luncheon that is interactive. It's a presentation on real colors. And if you've ever done personality tests, especially like the real colors or true colors, it's so much fun. And we have tables of 8 available. I'm getting ready to send out all of the information on that tomorrow. It'll be distributed through a link and digital information. The event is free. The keynote is $60 per person or $400 per table because we have to cover food costs, right? We have to cover
Always.
mileage, but it's not a fundraiser. This is a service, and it's underwritten by a grant from the Camden County Council of MU Extension, and it's for all women ages 18 plus. And so it's a full day, and there's an exhibit hall. We're going to have some great vendors and some great services there. The education sessions run from 9 o'clock until 11:30. Then we have the luncheon. Then we'll have a civic wellness panel, and it'll be fantastic. And then the exhibit hall will close at 3:30. So you'll have plenty of time to do all that. And I'm just so excited about it. I can't even express my joy. So,
I
but
want
look
to
for
touch
information on that. That's also on Facebook too.
Yeah, I want to touch on, if you've never attended an event like this, I think that it is wonderful for like that refresh, restart mindset. I know this is the first year that we're doing this one, but we've attended the SCORE E3 conference several years in a
Yes,
row,
that's
which is how
wonderful.
I connected with Ashley. And I always leave those events just with new ideas, and maybe they're not new ideas, but it's brought it back to the table for me, and I'm ready to just dive into all of that. So if you haven't attended any event like that, please sign up for the Elevate and come enjoy your time and get excited and motivated again. Because sometimes I get in that rut and I can't think of, oh, I don't know what I'm going to post. I don't know. My to-do list is so long, I don't even know where I'm going to start. And like, you go to an event like this and it truly does just kind of open up those doors and help you kind of prioritize and maybe even just get motivated in what you're doing again.
So thank you.
No, thank you. This has been one of the most fun webinars I think I've gotten to present. I've been doing these for a while, and I just love your energy and what you bring to us. And
I love you. I
raise
just
your
think you're
guys' hands if you
wonderful.
think she should come back for something else. Maybe we'll make her do another social media one.
Yeah, I don't know. I got some
Okay.
dry stuff
Oh,
I
Kim
can do
Carter
too.
raised her hand. We're doing.
Oh, yay!
We love that. Oh, thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, I got a
Oh, we got
heart. Oh,
loves.
I'm going to
Yay.
capture it. Yay. Oh,
Love
and a
that.
yay.
We love
Thank
your
you
energy.
so much. This is fun.
Awesome. Well, we will see everybody that's on here at the Elevate conference. You guys don't have a choice now. Go ahead and get signed up and we'll see you there. Oh, that's funny. Kim, do you have anything else? Or Kim's in the other room. Ashley, do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay.
Are we
Well,
still on?
we still have people on here. They didn't give up on us.
I'm
We
like,
love
I can't see them, so I don't know. It's like, oh,
it.
no.
Awesome. Well, we thank you so much. And we do have our next webinar coming up January 25th, and that is with the Better Business Bureau.
Awesome.
Yes, they're going to go into detail about what they are, what they do, who they serve, and why you could potentially need them. So we encourage everybody to sign up for that one. The Facebook link just went out on our Facebook today, and that's New Growth Women's Business Center. So be sure to like our Facebook. You got to like Ashley's Facebook now.
Yeah.
She put that up there. So that's
Awesome.
that's us asking, and we encourage you guys to do the same today. Ask somebody to like your Facebook page.
Love grows. That's right.
Love grows. Well, thank you, Ashley, and we will see you again, hopefully on our screen. If not, we will see you at the Elevate conference.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see y'all in person. It'll be fantastic.
It'll be
Thank you so
great.
much again.
Yes, thank you. This was awesome.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good afternoon.
Bye.